Last year, Tom Homan warned us and made this bold prediction. And less than 30 days into 2025, it's already coming true.
We're going to take a lot of hate. We're going to be sued every day, numerous times. I think you'll see the left try to control the media. They're going to show the first crying female, first crying child, and say how inhumane we are. But they won't talk about 340,000 children that they've failed to take care of. They're not going to talk about the young women who have been murdered in this country at the hands of criminal cartels. They're not going to talk about the hundreds of angel moms and dads who buried their children. You want to talk about family separation? They buried their children because their children were killed by a member of a criminal cartel or someone that's not supposed to be here. They'll tell one side of the story. They'll try to vilify us, but they're not going to stop us from doing our job. I don't care what the media says about me. If they saw what I saw in 34 years, saw the tragedies I've dealt with in 34 years, they would certainly understand me. They may not still like me, but there's a reason why we do what we do. Yeah. I'm tired of women being raped, making that journey. I'm tired of dead children. I'm tired of women and children being sex trafficked. On this administration, sex trafficking is up 600% of women and children. We have a record number of people on the terrorist watch list being arrested. Historic record. 3,500% increase. Record number of Americans dying of fentanyl. We got a record number of cartel members that have entered this country. You know, the criminal cartels in Mexico making more money than they've ever made in smuggling aliens, trafficking in women and children, and moving dope. So hate all you want. Push the misinformation out all you want. We're not going to slow down. We're not going to go away. We're going to get this done.
So he's saying by any means necessary. And regardless of what rhetoric spews from the left-wing media, he's going to continue to do his job. Even though we don't get to see, we only hear about it on the news. We don't get to see what he sees at the border every single day. Like Kamala had the opportunity to. I'm sure she was aware of what was going on, just choosing not to look. I think that people forget how serious this is. We have Americans dying over and over, multiple different ways at the hands of these illegal migrants. Nobody's saying that we don't want migrants in the U.S. All we're saying is we want them here legally, the proper way. Chicago Ray actually put in Homan in this position that Democrats did not even exist is brilliant by Trump. Now the country can see what an actual borders looks like, especially coming off the administration, the previous administration, the worst presidential, how do I say, 4 years in history, in America's history. And I didn't even live through all of them. I can comfortably say that. So thankful that since then, since Trump got in office, he's already
we're going to be sued.
Been making things happen. He has not slowed down whatsoever. It says Trump, he has not slowed down on making good on that promise whatsoever. Trump's new border czar, Tom Homan, announced that ICE agents made over 300 arrests yesterday. I think it was like 308. He describes those arrests as part of the worst of the worst. Now, I'm thankful for this. Obviously, there will be criticism towards that. I believe the very next one, oh, not this one, so I'm going to go straight to it. Hold on. Somebody was like, at the current rate of 608 deportations per day, as was seen yesterday, it would take 10.8 years to deport the 30 million illegals currently residing in America. This is not yet a mass deportation. Things need to pick up fast. Yeah, give things some time, rolling it out as quickly as they possibly can. I think it's a great start in comparison to yesterday when no deportations were being taken out at the hands of Biden and Kamala. The borders are. Promises made, promises kept. Senator Katie Boyd pointed this out. Hold on. If I take us to this screen. So yeah, she says, promises made, promises kept. The Trump administration's first full day of ICE enforcement was larger than any day in 4 years of the Biden administration. Wow. Today, ICE made 308 arrests of illegal aliens in our nation's interior, even with the frigid temperatures. The arrests were nationwide in every area of interest and included several murderers, rapists, sex offenders, and kidnappers. ICE also went to jails and ordered almost 300 additional aliens to be released to ICE custody rather than our nation's streets. Common sense is making its way back, for sure, definitely. And I'm just eager to continue to see how this next 4 years will go in terms of cleaning this country up and getting our country back. So this is Tom Homan. He's joining on Fox News right here. And this actually just posted today, 8 a.m., a couple hours ago. Well, Tom Homan announces that ICE has already made those arrests for those violent criminals and how he's targeting the worst first. But if you're in a country illegally, you are eligible for deportation. Leave now.
What would a person have to do to get a visit from ICE?
For it to be in the country illegally, first of all, I mean, there's nothing in the immigration law that says you got to be convicted of a serious crime to be removed under the INA. So if you're in the country illegally, ICE can visit you. But right now, as we said repeatedly, and the President Trump's been clear, we're concentrating on the worst first, the public safety threats, the national security threats. And just yesterday, in the last 24 hours, ICE arrested over 308 serious criminals. Some of them were murderers. Some of them were rapists. Some of them raped a child. Some were sexual assault of a child. So ICE is doing their job, and they're prioritizing just as the president said they would. So the ICE is performing excellent right now out in the field, and they're going to continue every day.
What would...
Yes, and it's only gonna, I think it's gonna increase as the days continue, as we move into 2025. I'm reading some of these comments. It says, I'm actually hoping for the report that ICE has arrested ex-violent criminal, illegals, and white criminals, illegals that were nearby. Wow, talk about hitting the floor running, Tom Homan. Yeah, man, I think this is an amazing start. We're getting what we voted for, which is the sentiment that the slogan of 2025 for me. Now we're gonna move on to Dana Bash and Tom Homan's interview, where she was shocked that that Tom Homan will deport illegal immigrants. Why be shocked when he quite literally ran on that? He quite literally mentioned that we're voting for that. Kamala did a horrible job. Let's see what's going on.
Who is ICE going after right now? I know that you and others said several times that it is the people who pose the biggest public safety threat to Americans who would be
Hold on, I'll turn the volume up for y'all. Hold on. Turn the volume up.
approached and deported first. Is that still the case?
Yes, people in the country illegally that have a criminal conviction that makes them a public safety threat. That's our priority.
How are you finding them?
Again, these ICE officers across the country have a non-detained docket. They know who these people are. When they don't show up in court, they fail to leave as ordered by an immigration judge, or they have, NCIC information on someone who was arrested for a violent crime here that's in the country illegally. They take those leads, they do investigative work, and through that work, try to find out where these people may be located. And that's the whole investigative piece they do before they go out and actually make an arrest.
And so what is happening as we speak is limited to those with criminal records?
That's the target of this operation. But like I said many times, in places like sanctuary cities where we can't arrest the bad person in the jail, we would like to have access to the jail to arrest a criminal alien in the safety and security of a county jail, which is safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien. But when you release a public safety threat out of a sanctuary jail and won't give us access to them, that means we got to go to the neighborhood and find them. And we will find him. But when we find him, he may be with others. Others that don't have a criminal conviction.
Don't release them off to them. It'll be a clean transition. Ain't no searching, ain't no looking. They're right there.
In the country illegally. They will be arrested too, because we're not going to strike. And this is the difference between the last administration and this administration. ICE is going to enforce the immigration law. There's nothing in the INA, the Immigration Nationality Act, says you got to be convicted of a serious crime in order to be removed from this country. So there's going to be more collateral arrests in sanctuary cities because they forced us to go in the community and find the guy we're looking for.
Let me just make sure that I understand what you're saying, because at first you said that the first targets are those with criminal records, but you are also saying that those who are undocumented in the U.S. also who don't have criminal.
I'm very weary of anybody who uses the term undocumented. You know what I'm saying? Undocumented. Just go ahead and say what it is. Just the politically correct term. Illegal.
The first targets are those with criminal records, but you are also saying that those who are undocumented in the U.S., also who don't have criminal records, people who are working in their communities, maybe even have spouses who are American citizens, they could be swept up with ICE today as well?
What I'm telling you is when we go find our priority target, which is a criminal alien, if he's with others in the United States illegally, we're going to take enforcement action against him. We're going to enforce the immigration law.
As you should. I don't know what's the surprised look on her face. Right. It doesn't look surprising at all. Believe it or not, that is Dana Bash's surprised face, the shocked face. She don't really have any muscles to move in terms of showing any expression when she's talking to somebody who of opposing views. But yeah, calling them undocumented, obviously that is that, but just referring to them as that, not just illegal. I'm always weary of that. But it is CNN. You got to remember that. Tom Homan is not speaking any sort of alien language. See what I did there? In any way, shape, or form. He's been straight to the point from the time he was introduced to the American people from Donald Trump. And since then, we've been expecting this right here. This exactly. So the surprise of, oh, you're really going to do this? You're going to not only deport those whom are criminals, but even the ones whom are not. Like, yeah, illegal. You know what I mean? Like, forget any way you're trying to slice it. Stop trying to, how do I say, create empathy and sympathy for something that's just straight to the point. Of course, man, lives are gonna be affected in multiple ways in one. But come on, dog, like we gotta restore order, and not in the Thanos way, but kinda. Instead, we're just getting people out as opposed to him just snapping his finger and getting rid of people. I'm trying to think, bring back the T'Challa. Anyhow, let's read a few of these comments. Serious question: why do they go on these shows? Is it really necessary? I think that's a really great question. I think yes, it's very much so necessary, especially for my people like my past self, because I was the CNN watcher, watching the clips and things of that nature, just to get a sound bite to find something that fit what I wanted to hear. And when people come on and challenge my thoughts, obviously I'm offended and triggered in my liberal Democrat days, but it eventually led me to wanting to figure out the truth. And the day that I did, man, I couldn't turn back. So I say that putting people who are opposing in terms of your ideologies and your perspectives is important. I know it's going to trigger a lot of people in the blind rage. The TDS is still going to be seeping through them, despite. But I would like to think that in some way, shape, or form, somebody's going to see, somebody's common sense is going to channel in every single day. So she looks like an illegal immigrant. Somebody says Democrats have difficulty understanding simple facts. That is a fact. I don't understand why it's so difficult. Somebody said Dana's expression of shock is more like of despondency. Riddance. Hashtag riddance. What the don't you understand? We want them all gone. Criminals first, then the rest. Stop asking stupid questions and no more coming here dropping a baby for a free ride. Those days are over. Blame Biden for the shit. What they said, man. All I can say is I'm excited for the next 4 years. Tom Homan is doing exactly what we expected of him to do. Acted surprised. I don't even know how. The man literally campaigned alongside Donald Trump, saying that he will do exactly what he's going to do. What is up with people actually getting mad at people sticking to their word? Is that like a foreign concept? I gotta ask my mama about that when it comes to babysitting my kids, because she horrible at keeping up with that.